Hey, what it do, sports world? It's me again. The Winner Circle podcast with me, Ray Diggs, is here, y'all. Where passion meets performance and champions are made. I'm your host, Ray Diggs, bringing you the energy, the insight, and the mindset from across the world of sports. From the locker rooms to the big stage, this is where the real ones talk and legends rise, and the motto stays the same. Winners will always win. The Winner Circle podcast with me, Ray Diggs. We are here and we ain't going nowhere. Make sure y'all tune in because we're about to go live now. Peace. Hey, what it do, sports world, and welcome to the Winner Circle podcast, man, with me, Ray Diggs. Hey, I got a great show, man. I want to give y'all a recap of the Super Bowl 60 between the New England Patriots and the Seattle Seahawks. Okay, let me turn that a little bit. And the Seattle Seahawks. This right here was a game right here. Honestly, it wasn't close, y'all. It wasn't. The score said it was 29-13, but the game didn't feel like that. It felt like it was a dominating win by the Seattle Seahawks. But the New England Patriots, man, people can say what they want to say, but the New England Patriots really wasn't supposed to be here. But they made it. They got here. A lot of people say it was off script of schedule. A lot of people say that the other teams were just crippled, by a lot of things that was going on in the playoffs. Bo Nix going down for the Broncos. You had the Chargers. They was without their offensive linemen. You had against the Texans, C.J. Stroud just pretty much just unraveled. So it was a lot of things, a plethora of things that a lot of people say the reason why the New England Patriots made it to the Super Bowl. But they got here and they pretty much made a buzzsaw in the Seattle Seahawks. The Seattle Seahawks dominated them from the start to finish. But the game wasn't as dominant, at the beginning until the turnover came involved. When the turnover started happening, and that is when the Seattle Seahawks pretty much, extended the lead. Drake May did not play a good game. He's only a second-year quarterback. I didn't expect him to. A lot of people think that he's Tom Brady, but he's really not. He's a hell of a young quarterback, and he have a chance to be great one day. But Tom Brady, man, he was already built from the beginning. Just being at Michigan and then coming into the NFL, and Tom Brady pretty much, took everything that the defense gave him in his first Super Bowl. And like I said, I don't think that the Rams defense that Tom Brady faced was even close to the defense that Drake May faced. The Seattle Seahawks defense was a hell of a defense. They was the best defense in the NFL, and they played like it from start to finish. New England, the final score, like I said, was Seattle Seahawks 29, New England 13. Total offense, it was kind of even. Time of possession was kind of even. Seattle, it was 335 by Seattle. Total yards, New England 331. Time of possession, Seattle was 33 minutes. New England was 26 minutes. But the turnovers was really the side that's right here really pretty much what decided the game. Also, with New England offense not being able to move the ball, but 3 turnovers to nothing. And then both teams pretty much had 3-4 penalties for like basically 25 yards. So, New England came into the game. When you look at the rushing yards, it wasn't, like I said, Seattle just dominated this game. Drake May, like I said, he played a horrible game. He did not play good. The stats pretty much say something else. Like I said about Dak Prescott and Shedeur Sanders, I said they get empty calorie yards. When they down by 14 points, then they want to go and start throwing all these yards. That's the same thing that Drake May did. And I'm saying it's about my own quarterback. So, but Sam Darnold played a pretty much mistake-free football game. He wasn't amazing. 19 for 38, 202 yards, 1 touchdown, but no interceptions, no turnovers. And that right there really what New England needed. They needed for Sam Darnold to make about 1 or 2 turnovers. That's right there what pretty much made this game. This right here would have made that game even. This right here would have put New England on an even playing field. But because he didn't, that's why Seattle, the better team, won this game. And then you had Kenneth Walker, 27 carries, 135 yards. And, that's pretty much what decided this game. You know, those type of things. Cooper Kupp making big catch after big catch, 6 catches, 61 yards. AJ Barner, he had about 4 catches for 54 yards. Then you had Kenneth Walker come out the backfield and catch a pass. You know, those are the things right here that pretty much decided this game. Those are the things that pretty much ultimately won them this Super Bowl. And then when you go down and look at New England, Drake May was 27 for 43. Yes, he had 285 yards. I say empty calorie yardage because it didn't matter in the game. You know, 2 touchdowns, 2 interceptions. He also had 1 fumble. The fumble is what really broke the game open. I think that at that time it was 12-0. New England had the ball. If they punt it, their defense is playing really good. It's still a game. Let's just say New England gets the ball and they score. Now we got a 12-7 game. But because Drake May fumbled and then the Seattle Seahawks went down and scored, it made it 19-0. And then after that, the Patriots, they came back with Mac Hollins and scored. And then, it's 19-7. Yes, Seattle, they get the Patriots get the ball back and they're driving. But then what do Drake May do again? He throws the ball up for grab. That's a pick. So that right there pretty much what took everything out of the New England Patriots. That turnover there, the interception, took everything out of the New England Patriots when he made that play. Drake May had 5 carries for 37 yards. Ramondre Stevenson had 7 carries for 23 yards. And then the receiving, man, it was pretty much Mac Hollins, 4 receptions, 78 yards and a touchdown. Basically, we had Stephon Diggs had 37 yards for 3 catches. I wish Drake May would have went to Stephon Diggs a little more. I wish he would have went to Pop Douglas more. But the Seattle Seahawks defense was just they were just suffocating, man. Their defensive line dominated, sacking Drake May 6 times. The defensive line, the offensive line was just breaking down. It was nothing that the New England Patriots could possibly do in this game. They could not do anything. I think that the better team won this game. It's kind of remind me of, if y'all go back when the Seattle Seahawks 11, 12 years ago, when the Seattle Seahawks won their first Super Bowl with the Legion of Boom and that defense, how they dominated Peyton Manning in the Super Bowl. That's how this right here looked. This right here kind of felt like that type of game right there. Okay. And, at the end of the day, man, like I said, the better team, I feel like the better team won this game. And like I said, you got Drake May. He played a horrible game, but in the end, you still can kind of feel that they had a chance to make it a game. And it's like Drake May, that second that interception that he thrown, that right there pretty much doomed them. And then on top of that, not only did he pick 6. I mean, the pick 6 pretty much, that was the backbreaker there. That was it there. The defense really played a hell of a game. The Patriots defense have nothing to be ashamed about. The Patriots defense played a hell of a game, but it was just, you could not make up for everything that the offense was doing. The offense was just, it seemed like the offense kept putting the defense in a bad situation. And it's like the offense could never get the ball past midfield. And I'm gonna tell you when I feel like I knew that the game was over. I feel like I knew the game was over with. It was probably like the second quarter, maybe the first or second quarter, when New England was playing it safe. Okay. It was like 3rd down and maybe 6. And what did New England do? Instead of throwing the ball, they handed the ball off to Ramondre Stevenson, and he lost like maybe 2 yards on that play. And I say, okay, they're trying to play this game how they played the AFC Championship game. They're trying to play this game safe. But I knew that the Seattle Seahawks offense was not going to be held down. And one thing that Seattle Seahawks did that I feel like a lot of coaches like Sean McVay, Sean Payton need to take notice of is when they got down there to the red zone, they kicked the field goals. They felt like that the New England Patriots offense could not move the ball. And if Sean Payton would have did the same thing in the AFC Championship game, his team probably would have been here. But these teams go by analytics, and analytics normally lose you games. And that is what I think that with the Seattle Seahawks head coach, he did not do. He took the points when they was available. When they was down there, easy 3 points, they took all of those 3 points. And ultimately, that right there is what won them this game. Kicking field goals, going into halftime up 12-0. New England coming back out, getting the ball, didn't do nothing with the ball. And I think that right there, pretty much the Seattle Seahawks knew at that moment that this game was over with. And like I said, congratulations to the New England Patriots for even making it. But congratulations to the Seattle Seahawks for winning their second Super Bowl. And the Patriots, man, they have a very bright future. The Seattle Seahawks do as well. But I think that this game right here could have been more could have been a closer game. I think that Josh McDaniels kind of let down the team. I don't think he called a perfect game. I can't really blame Mike Vrabel because I think Mike Vrabel gives Josh McDaniels all the ammunition that he needs to call plays. I don't think he pretty much interfere in it. I think Mike Vrabel controls the defense. So I'm gonna put a lot of the blame on Josh McDaniels because I feel like if he would have been hitting quick plays, he could have been, even if it didn't work, you have to try these plays like the quick screens or attack them in the middle with the tight ends. And I think that's one thing that the Patriots, I'm gonna talk about that in the next episode. I think that the Patriots need to go out and get them a more capable tight end. I think they need to go after the former Cleveland Cavalier, the former Cleveland Browns tight end. Nujik, whatever his name is. But I think they should go after him. Because I think they need a more athletic tight end that can pretty much open up the middle of the field for Drake May. I don't know if Hunter Henry can do that again, man. It's like Hunter Henry, it was plays with Hunter Henry pretty much, yes, Drake May, I think he threw it behind him, but I still think in an NFL is a catchable ball. And I think if he catches that ball, it's a first down, and they're gonna keep the drive going. But even in the AFC Championship game, I felt like Hunter Henry was dropping passes. So I think they need to go out there and possibly, and if they want to keep Hunter Henry and Austin Hooper, yes, that's fine. But I think they need a more athletic tight end that can pretty much make plays down the middle because you're going to need a tight end in this offense. In Josh McDaniels' offense, you need an athletic tight end. And like I said, they're going to need it. Why do you think Tom Brady was so successful? Tom Brady was so successful because he had the two tight end set. When he had Rob Gronkowski and he had Aaron Hernandez, dude, that offense was so dynamic because he had two. You could not guard them because you cannot stop two tight ends. You barely can stop one. But and I think that's what the Patriots is going to try to go after. I wouldn't mind going after Michael Maynard, the tight end for the Las Vegas Raiders. I wouldn't mind having him in New England. But I don't think the Raiders is going to let him go. But that right there would be a big pickup for Drake May. And like I said, they have a lot of work they have to do. I'm gonna talk about that in the next episode. But like I said, man, it was a kind of what we expected, us Patriots fans, because I always said that the Patriots was ahead of time. I was hoping they would win it, but in the end, I had a feeling, the Seattle Seahawks, they had been the best team all season. Them, the LA Rams, and the 49ers, that division was so tough. And in the end, man, it just caught up with us. A good team, healthy team, finally caught up with us. And this right here is what happens. I don't think our roster was built to win a Super Bowl. I think our roster, and I said this at the beginning of the year, I feel like our roster was built to win 8 to 10 games this season, just to get over that hump and, get these players used to winning. But, we end up winning 14 games in the regular season, 17 game total. I mean, it was just, I wasn't expecting that. But in the end, I just feel like, man, the New England Patriots, they exceeded expectations, honestly. But y'all let me know what y'all think, man. Like I said, the Seattle Seahawks, congratulations on winning the Super Bowl. And it's gonna be a big season next year, man. I think that the Patriots, they're gonna be back. I'm not gonna say they're gonna make it to the Super Bowl, but they'll be a really good team next year as well. So but yeah, man, make sure y'all let me know what y'all think. I'm about to go ahead and come back again. We're about to go ahead and talk about the New England Patriots even more, about what I expect for this team going forward, and why I feel like this team right here is just scratching the surface right now with young quarterback Drake May, with Mike Vrabel, with Josh McDaniels, when they add a few pieces on the offensive line, and like I said, a few more weapons on that on at the wide receiver and tight end position, I think that this team right here can be a dynamic team going forward. But hey, man, y'all make sure y'all tune in, man. We're about to go and come back and talk about this right here on the next episode of the Winner Circle Podcast. So thank y'all again. And hey, we're about to go and come back and talk about it in the next episode about the New England Patriots. Peace.
Mr. Diggs, we're on in 5. Vegas can't be choosers, but grandma chose trace. She raised me on scraps.